Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome if you're here for the very first time. My name is Keisha Mackenzie. If you want motivational videos to get up and get going in life, I suggest that you hit that subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell so that when I upload you will be notified. So today we're going to talk about my breakthrough story, or in Jamaican terms, your first boss in life. I'm going to talk about the journey to get my first real job. And I decided to do this video because one of my friends, well, my best friend, Tom, she sent me a photo this week of me, herself, and another friend. And I remember looking at the photo and wondering, who is this girl? It was a real throwback for me, and it started having me reminisce on the past and where I've come from and just life in general. And I decided to do a video as it relates to me prior to entering into nursing school, midwifery school, and how I actually got started. And so because of that, it allowed me to take out this album, my photo album. This album has been with me for years, and I decided to speak about my journey and how I got my first job, how I got my real first boss in life, and decided to share some tips with you guys from my album. So this video is very emotional for me because it's a video that is a very vulnerable video and it's about me. But I decided to open up with you, all 100 odd subscribers of you. Yes, I say give thanks for the small blessing so that when the big blessing come, you will be grateful. If you have not done so as yet, watch my video on attitude of gratitude where I talk about that. I will put the link down below. Okay, so I'm going to start at the point of after I left high school. And after I left high school, what happened and how I ended up with my first job. So after leaving high school, I decided that I would get a job, right? Because at the time there was no money for me to go to sixth form, and I decided to get a job, save up some money, and then I would go off to college or university. And that is how I started out life. However, to get my first job, it was not easy. I left school at a very early age. I left school at 16 years old. And in Jamaica, you are able to work at around 17 years, 18 years or something like that, right? So I was below the age that was required to start working. I remember sending out applications, but no one would take me because one, I was underage, and two, I was inexperienced and I was not able to get a job. So I remember my uncle telling me about a business place that he had opened that sell refrigeration parts, and he asked me to work in there, and I did, because it was better for me to go out every day and go do something than to sit home. And so I started working with my uncle, selling refrigeration parts, AC parts, and that's where basically I got my first real job, right, working with my uncle. And I stayed there and I worked, and I remember saving $1,000 a week. I remember having a saving pan, right? A board saving pan. And I remember coming home and dropping in $1,000 every single week that I worked. And I continued that until I stopped working there. So I saved and saved and saved every single week $1,000 Jamaican dollars. That would be like around $10 US for my US subscribers. And I remember saving that every single week. Anyway, I ended that job. Sadly, the business ended. We were not generating enough revenue and we had to close down. And funny enough, because of that job now, I know that I'm an entrepreneur, or we own our own small business. I think that because of that job, it allowed me to be able to go through rough times as it relates to a small business. So I'm not phased when I see rough times, and I'm not overly excited when I see good times in a business. But that is another story for another time. However, I ended that job and I saved up $1,000 every single week. So I opened the saving pan after I stopped working. So I busted it open, and I remember taking out the funds that was in there and taking it to Scotiabank at the time and putting down the amount of money that I worked. At the time, I think I had put down at around $15,000 thereabouts, and 15,000 Jamaican dollars. That would be roughly around a little bit over 100,000 US dollars. And I opened my first bank account on my own, and I basically waited for my next job. Now, waiting for my next job, I reached the age now. However, it was still not easy because persons were saying that I did not have any experience. I remember my mom walking up to where they sell the newspaper or the Mirror and buying newspaper, and we cut out the ads that were asking for jobs and we applied to every single ad that was there. I remember being so desperate that there's this gas station owner that called me who wanted me to start working at the time, and I was so eager to take it because things were rough and I just wanted a job basically before the money out of the bank ran out. And I took the newspaper clippings and sent out application. However, when the gas station owner contacted me, he had one issue: I did not have any experience at the time. Not to work, it was inside of the gas station to supervise persons and count off money and all of that, right? And I didn't have any experience, so he decided not to take me. No. I remember just applying after applying, and there were just no jobs. And then I decided to try Harchus on the job program at the time. So what they did was they allowed you to work for 1 year, where you work on the job, you train on the job, and if the employer likes you, then you would end up working there for more than the time period that they stipulated, basically, which was a year at the time. And I remember going up to Hart and signing up, and they called me for a job at the time it was United General Insurance in Westmoreland, Savlamar at the time. And I went and sent in the application, and I was called back for an interview. When I went in for the interview, I remember not having anything to wear at the time because my thinking was that I can't use all of the money that I had saved up from the job that my uncle gave me to basically go on an interview that I was not sure that I would get the job. So I remember looking through my things and wondering what I could wear for that interview. And I remember very specifically wearing a black skirt that I used to wear to church, aqua green blouse that I used to wear to church as well, and then I had a silver slippers, not shoes, silver slippers that I used to wear to church, and also I just paired it with some stockings. At the time I did not have enough money to buy a work shoes, and so I just wore what I had because in my mind I was saying, well, I cannot afford to spend my last on an interview and not necessarily knowing if I got the job. And if I got the job, then I would not be able to buy the work clothes. And I remember going there, sitting down for the interview. There were 2 other persons I remember specifically. Went in, did the interview, and the interview went well. The manager at the time liked me and decided that I would get the job. However, I remember waiting and waiting and waiting, and I was so eager to get the job that I was just up there every single time asking persons when, well, at the time it was the administrative assistant, when will I get the call, when will I get the call? And I end up going there a lot of times. When I tell you I was a pest, I was a pest. And I remember going back asking when I would get the job. And then the person said to me at the time, Keisha, you are more than likely to get the job than not to get the job, right? But I still didn't hear anything. In my mind, it seemed very long. Maybe it was like a month, but because I was so eager to start working, it seemed like forever. And I remember going home and thinking about what if I did not get this job, how my life would be different. And I remember sitting at the back door of my house and just crying my eyes out, crying to God and saying, God, please, I need this job. This job will basically set the foundation for me. And I remember crying tears, just saying, I just need this job. Even though speaking about it, I'm trying not to tear up because it is so. I remember it like clear as day, as though it was yesterday. And anyway, I remember being at one of my friend's house at the time, and then I got the call to say that yes, I got the job. I was so happy, I was so elated, and I remember going to the tailor because at the time you had to dress up in like office wear because it was an office, right? And I remember making a jacket and skirt suit, and you had to wear like your stocking and your shoes, high heel shoes, right? And I was super excited about that. And so I went to the tailor and made some suits. Well, not some suits, I think it was 2 at the time, and then I paired it. You know, as females, we know how to switch around things and make them look brand new. And so I got the job, and I was so excited. Right, so after I got the job, I was just super excited. I remember getting up the morning of my first day and putting on my suit, my skirt suit, black jacket, black skirt, and high heels, right? To basically just walk from where I was at the time. It was downtown Savlamar to uptown Savlamar, where the office was. And I remember getting up and just walking the first morning for persons to see me, to say, oh, you're working in an office, man, you look nice and all of that. So I remember walking every single morning and every single evening for about 1 week or 2 so that persons could see me and say, wow, you're working in an office, you know. Coming to think about it, that was crazy, but that was how excited I was and proud of my achievement. And then I realized that it was just not feasible for me to be walking in those high heels every single morning and evening. And so I started to take a taxi to go to work. But it was just a very happy time in my life. I felt really accomplished, and that was how I basically started in life. Because when I got that job at United General Insurance in Savlamar, that is how I saved for college. So when I started at the office, there was this partner draw at the time. Well, partner draw, right? That someone in the office started, and I think it was $1,000 per week or something like that. And I remember joining that partner plan and paying $1,000 for the week. And at the end of it, you would get $40,000. So I was paying it And while I was paying my partner job, I was still saving at the bank saving, because in my mind I had a goal to go to college. So I was working towards going to college, and I basically paid the partner every single week, and then it was time for me to collect. And I tell you, when I sat down in that chair, and my coworker at the time counted out $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, all the way up to $40,000, I felt as though it was the best thing in the world. 40,000 Jamaican dollars is like, well, at the time it was around 400 US dollars roughly, right? I felt as though I was the queen. No one could not talk to me then. And I remember going home to my mom and saying, "Mom, we are rich!" And I threw up the money in the air, and we laughed and created an excitement, and it was just pure joy, because in my mind, like, yo, $40,000, we're rich, we gone through the gate. Anyway, we got over that excitement, and after throwing up the money in the air in the house, I took it up and I put it in my bank account that I started with my first job at the time, right? And put it down, and I said, you know what, this is for college. And that's what I did. I saved along with the partner job, and in the end I ended up saving around almost $150,000 roughly, right? Almost $180,000. But mark you, that was supposed to take me through 2 years of school, even though at the time you live for free, right? And you ate for free for 2 years, right? I was thinking about even the 1 year that was off campus, because at the time I wanted to do registered nursing. However, I did not end up doing that first. I ended up doing midwifery first. However, that was supposed to keep me for 2 years. So I basically went there, had my goal in mind, and I accomplished that goal. After working there for about a year after, I was put on staff, and then when I was put on staff, I got the call to go to nursing school, and I ended up having to leave. But in a nutshell, that was when I got my real start in life, and that set the foundation for me to go on to midwifery school and then nursing school, and for what I am today, basically. But that's a whole nother story, right? About when I started midwifery school and then when I started nursing school. But I hope that this video will be an inspiration to you, a motivation to you to just not give up. It's not where you start in life, but it's all about the will and the drive that you have. And if you have a goal, just to go after it. I mean, there is nothing wrong in just going after your goals, dreams, and aspiration. And every day, even as we get older, I am still dreaming new dreams, still have new goals and aspiration. You're never too old to dream a new dream. And that's just my snippet, and then I went off to midwifery school, and here I am today. But that was the pivot in where I started out in life. It was my first job, real job, and it was the foundation that I set in order for me to move on to the next level in life. And it also shows you that discipline plays an important role in achieving your goals, because I could have used my money to do anything with it. However, I said I'm using it to invest in myself for a better future in life. Even this jacket that I have on right now, it's paying homage to, as you can see, it's a bit tight, right? But it's paying homage to where I was coming from at the time, my first job, because even though I still have it, and I decided to just put it on for this video, just to remember, the joy I felt, getting the first job and where I am today. So thank you for watching my video. I hope that it was an inspiration for you. Remember to like, remember to share, remember to subscribe and comment down below. And thank you for watching my video. Remember to follow me on Instagram at @FootMackenzie. Remember to motivate and inspire daily. Here we motivate and inspire and elevate your mindset. Bye. Thank you for watching my video. Bye.